Itchy, go away.
Alright, we're gonna fight. Alright? You got that? Yeah, we can watch this. We can do this one. Alright. I go small, I go react. Yay!
Itchy, go away to fight. Poor Itchy.
We're gonna fight! Hey, chat? You wanna go? Oh, it's a Warhammer video. Oh, yeah, let's watch. By Raycevick. Let's see what we're in for today.
So, I'm jealous of Warhammer, and I'll tell you why. Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. I'm going somewhere with this. BioWare's sci-fi epic is my favorite universe in all of it.
Why are they staring at us when he's pointing a gun at him? I don't understand.
I love the planets, the races, the guns, biotics, tech, sports, politics, history. I love...
We'll go back a little bit.
BioWare's sci-fi epic is my favorite universe in all of fiction.
Like, what? Why? Why is he looking at us? Look at him. Figure out why you're getting shot at.
I love the planets, the races, the guns, biotics, tech, sports, politics, history. I love all of it. And yet, when it comes to having any video game experiences beyond its major releases, there's only ever been one option, with the exception of Infiltrator on iOS.
No, we don't count those.
Mass Effect 3 multiplayer isn't remarkable in any capacity. Progression's obnoxious, maps are samey, gunplay's average, objectives are annoying, enough to exploit. Only, we got to headbutt as Krogans, hop as Quarians, and even run around as corrupted Protheans. No longer were we solely bound to Commander Shepard. We finally got to play as everything together, with playstyles, combinations, and abilities that were never possible as Shepard. Could it be better? Sure. But especially when there's no other place to do these things, I can't help but embrace everything that BioWare's Montreal studio
I don't know.
did exceedingly well. The weapon, character, and enemy variety, the sheer depth of its content, and ramped up intensity compared to single player. It was finally a new way to experience
The reason he cut off there, he didn't want you to know he died. He totally
this
died.
universe in video games. I do love the original trilogy, but after 6 playthroughs over 10 years, I've seen it all. I've done every interrupt, I've completed every side mission, I've shot a dozen Thresher Maws, I read all the planet descriptions, I've played and completed Pinnacle Station. Here's what I'm currently
See, I haven't played this game, so I don't quite follow some of the things he's saying. If this video reaches 404 likes, I will play my first Mass Effect game, and if it gets over 606 likes, I'll play the whole damn trilogy. Wait, what? No! I'm not doing that! 1,000 likes, you bastard!
reading. That's how desperate I am. So when I type Warhammer into Steam and there's 11 pages of games and downloadable content for said games, I'm overcome.
I see why he's jealous now. Stretch! Assume the winner! It's a fun game, I mean...
with furious envy. Do you
No.
know how much I'd want a 7-hour FPS of gunning down Turians in the First Contact War, or gunning down humans as a Turian? Fuck it, make it 3 hours for all I care. I'll binge it even if it sucks. Lord knows the Mass Effect community has done this before. The entirety of the Mass Effect property, this endlessly expansive universe utilized for over 15 years, capable of telling thousands of stories by design, are 4 action RPGs, 2 mobile games, 7 books, an omnibus, and a shitty animated movie.
Did he say omnibus? I heard
That's everything. Meanwhile, y'all got 8 books about a single battle in one of the franchise's multiple.
I do want to get, like, some of the books for this. Omnibus? Omnibus? Omnibut? Omniboob? Omnibook?
Universes. And it's not just Mass Effect,
Omniboob!
but almost every property I adore.
That's what chat's thinking.
Black Lagoon, 27 episodes, 2 spin-offs of the manga, 2 light novels, and a patchy slot game. Hotline Miami, a top-down shooter and the same top-down shooter. Metro, 3 FPSs, 3 books. Titanfall, 3 games you can't officially play anymore, and a free-to-play spin-off more popular than all of them combined, along with a lore book that I'm also reading.
That was a big book.
Half-Life. I don't need to explain this one. At least there's mods. I have said that games should leave you wanting more, but that's really put to the test when I see another
It's the
franchise
Commissar
which,
guy.
unlike all of these, keeps pumping out releases
Lugia. It's a different game. There's windows.
with all the variety that I want. I want Mass Effect, but XCOM, Diablo, Total War, VR, Titanfall, Civilization, Galactic Empire, StarCraft.
Wait, there's a Civilization Warhammer?
Left 4 Dead,
Hello?
Space Marines, and Left 4 Dead with Space Marines. And looking at Warhammer makes me sick. Until I play something like...
Wait, that would be cool. I just thought they should make a Metroid of 40k Warhammer.
like Necromunda Hired Gun, and
That'd be
it's
cool.
a lot better on paper than execution. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad game. There's lots of things to love. I imagine especially so if you're a 40k fan. But that jealousy of this not being a Mass Effect, Black Lagoon, or Titanfall game starts to fade when it doesn't nearly reach the quality of any of those things. I was baffled how such a gorgeous game can be so poorly crafted until seeing the developers, which explained a lot. Playing this game, as somebody jealous of its status as an ambitious middle-market bounty hunter movement-based arena FPS with custom characters, weapons, and pets, I dropped it halfway through feeling rather cold. Like neither myself nor Warhammer fans are completely satisfied. These brands find themselves on 2 extremes. The former puts out a massive AAA action RPG once every 2 to 5 years via a mega publisher, and the latter releases middle-market niche products every 5 to 6 months via an owner who will give the license to just about anybody.
Ain't that the truth?
Both have their benefits and a
Like Prime with more combat potential? Maybe. That's also good. I was thinking like... Actually, yeah, that might be a better idea than mine. I was thinking like a Metroid Vania version of it. But also when you mentioned Prime, that actually sounds really cool too.
annoyances. Of the fans I've spoken with, there
Don't
seems
we
to be
all
a
hate
real
autocorrect?
frustration with each Warhammer game. Its quality is a coin toss. Sometimes it's an utterly compelling and cohesive package like Fat Shark's wonderful Vermintide that I even prefer to the Left 4 Dead games they're inspired by. Other times it's Fire Warrior, or Silver Tower, or Dark Nexus Arena, or Death Zone, or Storm of Vengeance, or Eisenhorn, or Eternal Crusade, or Dawn of War 3. Though, there's lots of solid ones like Inquisitor, Blood Bowl 2, Battlefleet Gothic 2, Mechanicus, and Space Marine. These are some of the games often lauded by Warhammer fans, and the ones I'm most jealous of. It may seem silly to eyeball a bunch of games that aren't exactly wowing critics, but I think if we're
Got
being
picked up
honest,
after he killed him.
it's what most fans want. There's so much enthusiasm for games like Star Wars Bounty Hunter,
Is it bad that some of the games he mentions I've never seen?
007 Nightfire, Transformers War for Cybertron, Mad Max, Space Marine, and Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. And you cannot convince me it's because better games didn't exist. It's because despite their shortcomings, they're gateways into a world for fanboys and newcomers. Somebody who doesn't like RTS games might love third-person shooters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, some of these franchises should totally be, like, made into different games. Like, there should be a Metroidvania of almost every game. Like, and there should be, like, RTSs if possible, and there should be, like, twin-stick shooters and stuff. Because, like, you're leaving stuff on the table. Like, I like how a lot of these companies want to appeal to everybody when they can do that the right way, which is make other games. But they try to do it in one game. In which case, there's no way you're going to appeal to really anyone at that point, because you're sanding down all the good parts.
to Space Marine, they too can enter the Warhammer 40k universe and potentially fall in love with it. That is awesome. And it's just as cool for somebody who's played hundreds of hours of Dawn of War or painted their own Space Marines.
All I'm saying is, we get to like 1,000 on our little thing, I will put up a poll on what Warhammer to get. I will paint a mini if we get to 1,000.
To finally control one and witness the scale of this world up close. Not to mention that many of the strengths in these games stem directly from their universes. Sure, there's better co-op shooters, but do they have Mass Effect's sleek homage to 80s sci-fi aesthetic? Or its large variety of distinct species to fight or fight alongside? Or its abilities which justify lightning-based
Yeah, there likely would be a larger audience for it compared to what they are now. Yeah, what they're doing now is just like ruining franchises. They're like sabotaging them like super hard. There likely wouldn't be a larger audience for it compared to what they're doing now. Are you talking about this game, Warhammer? Or are you talking about what I said with like making, like if you're trying to appeal to everyone, make multiple games, not one game that's appealing to everyone?
shotguns and biotic-infused hammers. These are the things you just don't have in Gears of War. Like how, for all of its gore, there is no chainsword that can build combos of melee attacks, jetpacks turning you into a meteor, or cockney goblins to slaughter. In both cases, we got a new experience in a rich and beloved universe, only Warhammer makes that the norm.
His people need him, he must go.
Lower budgets and more teams.
Did you guys see that?
Mass Effect 3 multiplayer
is
is one of
floating
the
away.
only times this franchise got a more bespoke, compact experience. And as much fun as it might have been, the reason it got made was pretty obvious, as was Infiltrator. So the only times Mass Effect was allowed to deviate from its main formula was to fit a profitable trend. Meanwhile, there isn't top billing in real-time strategy, turn-based strategy, space strategy, M-rated football, VR slashers, melee-based first-person co-op games, or, let's face it, tabletop. Yet, for all its failures, the Warhammer IP is going strong, continuously increasing its popularity, unlike, say for instance, Mass Effect. Now, that's not entirely an apt comparison. Mass Effect doesn't have the mountains of revenue streams that Games Workshop has been steadily building up over 4 decades. But that's kind of my point. Companies like EA repeatedly shoot themselves in the foot pursuing the #1 big-budget video game, even in genres that are rarely mainstream enough to be the #1 big-budget video game. They want billion-dollar franchises, but only one way, regardless of whether that method maps onto a company like BioWare or a franchise like Mass Effect. This is the beauty of releasing multiple mid-market games rather than placing all bets on one every 2 to 5 years, if you're lucky, and when it fails, fire everyone, shelf the IP, and wait even longer. All of that's avoided. And you've got gameplay catering to specific tastes and genres rather than the widest demographic possible. That is always
That's
supported.
what I'm saying, like, appeal to multiple facets through multiple games. Don't appeal to all the facets you can with one game.
By an entourage of longtime fans loyal to the universe rather than a specific game. And the consequence is this. Today, BioWare is putting all of their eggs in one basket again, despite that very model being at least part of their most recent and biggest failures. Meanwhile, Games Workshop is now investing in its biggest projects yet, without the pressure of their potential failure threatening to shelve the franchise for years. It seems that after decades of success and failure, the brand is orchestrating a balance between these two extremes, and my jealousy rages on. So Warhammer fans, I get how much it sucks that games like Dawn of War, Vermintide, and Mechanicus are the exception rather than the norm. I empathize with the hesitance to get excited for the latest game with potential just to find out it's another Fire Warrior. It must be infuriating to see Games Workshop repeatedly sell their own creation out to people who obviously don't care about it. Your favorite part of the Warhammer franchise might not be satisfied at the moment. maybe not in 10 years. But you've still got Warhammer. You can
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Warhammer has a lot of support. Like making a Sonic RPG that sucked. Yeah.
still find something in the franchise that'll reignite that awe and inspiration again. There's still hours and hours and hours of content, quality content for you to sink your teeth into, with the constant potential for more. And as somebody who is constantly scraping the bottom of the barrel, waiting and pleading for something, anything, fuck you.
Fuck you. That was pretty good. Don't forget to give them a like and subscribe to them if you want to see more of their stuff and stuff. That's pretty good. Warhammer is expensive. That's kind of why all the Warhammer stuff that we do is usually tied to a monetary goal or something, because I had to pay for it somehow. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna fill up my water, and then we will go play some Path.